Folks, the Golden State Warriors have some strange issues. I don't know about you, but whenever we're playing a team and I see that notification pop up on my phone, Warriors opponent superstar out for the night, whether it's Giannis or Wemby or Jokic, I immediately chalk it up to a loss. I don't know what is up with our complete inability to beat teams that are lesser than us, but it continues to be the case. It happened against Portland the other night, but that wasn't because of this weird issue of us playing teams with a superstar not playing and losing. Steve Kerr in the postgame today said, it feels like we're about 0-12 in games where our opponent's best player doesn't play. And before we get any further in the video, I know what you're thinking. Yes, this is probably going to win the award for ugliest setup on YouTube. I am currently in the washer and dryer room of my cousin's apartment in Indianapolis. That's because I'm traveling, but hey, that doesn't mean that we are stopping these Warriors post-game reactions for you. But I will say, I was hoping to hop in this washer and dryer room and have a very exciting post-game after an exciting, hot win for the Golden State Warriors to improve to 5-1. Instead, I'm a little bit disheveled and frustrated and don't look my best, and the Warriors are 4-2, and it's a pretty depressing evening. 4-2 for the Golden State Warriors at a time right now where, man, it feels like we should be 5-1, especially for this next 12-game road stretch, 10 of the next 12 on the road. It's a big stretch for this team, and trying to figure out exactly what the nature of this team is supposed to be. Tonight we learned a lot about the team, but a lot of not super positive things, and so I want to first hop into the box score for tonight. Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Steph Curry, our starters looked great. And before we break down the rest of this box score, specifically the issues with the bench, we're going to take a look at Milwaukee's as well. And Ryan Rollins, former Golden State Warrior, who absolutely ripped us tonight. A revenge game for Ryan Rollins, if you want to say. Triple R, I guess, for Ryan Rollins. Absurd. 32 points on 5 of 7 from 3. A ridiculous performance for the former Warrior, incredibly frustrating. But before we do all that, I want to talk about just Warriors Game 6 takeaways tonight against the Bucks. First thing that I noticed from watching the whole game, Al Horford's starting to show his age a little bit. I thought there were some moments tonight where he looked a little discombobulated. I thought he looked dysfunctional within the offense. Ultimately, lowest box score, plus-minus tonight with a -20 for Golden State. And I think there's just going to be moments early in the season where we're still figuring out how to play as a complete unit. We're still figuring out how to work Al Horford into this offense. But I will tell you, the reason this doesn't scare me that much is because I've seen moments where Al Horford has been perfect with this team. You saw it in the Nuggets game down the stretch. He hit 2 massive corner threes to help us extend ourselves across the checkered flag and win that game. But it hurts to see a guy like that who you want to see play so well at this point in his career have nights where you go, okay, having him on the floor doesn't help us too much. Next thing that I saw, Bucks shot 40% from 3. Here's the deal, folks. We're not going to win a lot of games when our opponents shoot 40% from 3. That's just not going to happen. Especially towards the end of the game, you get Steph, Jimmy, Kuminga, Dre, you get those guys back in the game, you feel like, here's our moment to make a run. Sort of reminded me we were down about 7 with about 4 minutes left. Reminded me of that Mavericks game at the beginning of last season with D'Anthony Melton. Those guys playing well. I thought to myself, man, this is a moment for us to show our depth, show our age, our experience, and instead of that happening, the Bucks hit 3 of the most fluky clutch shots I've ever seen. A ridiculous sidestep from AJ Green with Horford right in his face. Another one in the far corner from Gary Trent Jr. just throwing it up. And then a deep shot from Miles Turner. Like, as much as this game sucks and as frustrating as this is to lose in this way, everything had to go right for the Milwaukee Bucks for them to beat us tonight. Ryan Rollins, a guy who I couldn't even describe what his game is to you because I've watched him play so few games in this league, has the game of his life against his former team. AJ Green hits a ridiculous shot alongside Gary Trent Jr. and Miles Turner. Kyle Kuzma was awful tonight. I don't know why Kyle Kuzma ever touches the floor for the Milwaukee Bucks. Every other player on that team provides so much more than Kyle Kuzma. It's actually incredible to me. I don't know. I guess I didn't realize that I was such a Kyle Kuzma hater until this exact moment, and I'm not ever going to pray on anyone's downfall. But anytime Kyle Kuzma shoots the ball, I'm hoping and praying that it gets swung to him and he shoots it, because I have so much confidence that thing is not going in. But even he hit a dagger against us tonight late in the shot clock in that fourth quarter. So that's a frustrating one to lose, but I mean, when the Bucks shoot 40% from 3, any team shoots 40% from 3 against you, it's going to be tough to win on any given night when they're shooting that well. The bench struggles continue. We'll look at the box score, break it down in a moment, but I thought the bench, we didn't have a guy come off the bench tonight and give us what we needed. It didn't feel like there was someone that came off the bench and gave us that spark. It felt like Steph, Jimmy, and Kuminga were doing the brunt of the work all night long, and when those guys weren't producing, we struggled and struggled and struggled. Post starts tonight, but only plays 10 minutes. And my frustration with this is, Kerr, we just saw what Quinten Post can do. And yes, he didn't play very well through the first couple of minutes of the game. Missed his first 2 open threes. But you got to give that guy a bigger leash. He provides so much for us defensively. I thought that he was stifling in that first quarter. We were up 7 about to begin the game. I thought Quinten Post was doing his job. Plus minus looked solid. And then he doesn't play at all for the second quarter. We bring him in to start the third. Didn't look great there as well, but we're not giving him as much of an opportunity. That leash needs to be longer for Post. If we're going to, tell him you're going to be a consistent starter for us this year, he has to be playing more than 10 minutes. If you're going to go to a guy, stick with it. Don't just immediately discard it or, go away from it just because it doesn't work. In the very beginning, and it did work in the beginning, I thought Post was playing well. He didn't knock down his shots, but not a whole lot of us were shooting well. We started the game 2 of 12 from 3, and you find a way to be close in it, down 2 at halftime, and then just gets away from you in the fourth quarter. I agree that Horford should be the guy down the stretch. I'm okay with that. But if Post is going to start, he's got to play more than 10 minutes. I don't understand that at all. Turnovers. Folks, this is the game. 19 for the Warriors, 12 for the Bucks. That's 7 possessions that we, obviously the 12 and 12 cancel out. The 7 that we gave to the Bucks, that they had more possessions than us, we lost by just a few possessions. That's the game. We ended up losing by 10, but it was close down the stretch. You can't turn the ball over 19 times and expect to win the basketball game. You just can't. We said we need to be at least under 15 for the entire season. You just can't expect to win games with 15-plus turnovers every single night, especially when we're not equaling it out or canceling it out with steals and blocks on the other side of the ball. So, man, there are major struggles with this team, and we'll get them fixed. And this isn't cause for overreaction or a time to freak out or feel like, man, the season's over. We're still going to be good, right? We're still figuring out rotations and things like that. Melton's on the way. Seth Curry's on the way. But these are the ones you got to win. These are the ones where it's not a back-to-back. Everyone's healthy after a couple of nights off. You got to win this game. You just have to. Let's take a look real quick. First at Milwaukee, not a whole lot to talk about here other than the fact that, again, they shot, it's not on here because it just shows the player stats as opposed to team stats, but they shot 42% from 3. Ryan Rollins, again, 36 minutes, 32 points. 5 of 7 from 3, incredibly efficient, 13 of 21, plus 8 to lead the team. And you know what the funny thing is? Kyle Kuzma didn't play very well tonight, led the team in plus minus, other than a couple of guys off the bench in Taurean Prince and Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis was excellent tonight as well. But it's just frustrating because I look at the guys off this bench, and it feels like they all have a role. And I'm not sure that our bench guys have a clear role yet. Like Bobby Portis, you know what his expectation is when he comes into the game. Taurean Prince, same thing, 18 minutes off the bench. Cole Anthony, be a spark plug guy. Podziemski comes in, fills space. If he's not shooting the ball well or making good decisions, he doesn't do a whole lot for us. Moses Moody, if he's not shooting the ball well, doesn't do a whole lot for us. Buddy Hield, if he's not shooting the ball well, doesn't do a whole lot for us. When you look at the rest of this Warriors box score, Gary Payton, if he's not shooting the ball well, he's not doing a whole lot. Will Richard is really the only guy that I see come off the bench and create much of an impact defensively. Obviously, that's what you want from Gary and Moody and Podziemski, and I'm not saying that those guys can't have that impact. Even from Pods tonight, I mean, he had only 9 points, but he had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So, he's creating plays, but it doesn't feel like the impact from the bench is anywhere where it needs to be right now. We saw the opportunity that those guys have when they do step up. They really impact the game. But there's been a couple times now, Trailblazers, and then tonight, where it was man, we're getting no production from our bench right now. Absolutely none. The only 2 shots Buddy Hield is one late in the shot clock he just throws up and happens to make, and then another one where it's just a full swing and it's wide open. You expect him to make that shot every time. But Steph did his part. Man, I don't know what has to be done about the officiating in the NBA, but Steph Curry, for as talented as he is, as respected as he is, he just does not have the whistle that some of these guys do. It feels like a Ryan Rollins archetype young NBA player has 10 times the whistle Steph Curry does. And it's infuriating. And I hate seeing Steph draw contact consistently and not get calls. He had a couple tonight that went his way. But I don't understand how when guys run to the hoop and just throw it out, get it knocked out of their hands, they call a foul. It's 2 shots at the stripe. Why, when Steph Curry, the foul happens, he's going up, right? If you're going to call it, be consistent. There's 3 times tonight, two for sure, where Steph gets fouled, throws the ball, it makes it, no shot on the floor. Maybe that's the correct call, but call it that way on both sides. Same thing with the travel on Gary Trent. A clear step and then into 2 feet in the paint, travels, shuffles the feet, clear travel. Then literally Steve Kerr complains, and the next possession, they call the travel on Kuminga. I don't care which way you're going to call it, just be consistent and try to get the call right. Incredibly frustrating. This team's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. You're going to have losses like this throughout the season, but this just puts you in a hole. When you go on a big stretch like this of 12 games that are really big, you want to get that first one because you understand, hey, this long stretch, 10 of them are on the road, we're going to drop some games. Like, that's just, we're not the 73-win Warriors anymore. Like, that's just not who we are. We don't have the youth for that. We don't have the guys for that, but, like, you know you're going to lose some of those games. But this feels like one on the road. You're up, you're battling the whole time. We have a better unit on the floor than them to finish the game. And yeah, it just feels like some shots didn't go our way. They got incredibly lucky on a couple of shots, and ultimately we dropped to 4-2. I'm still confident in this road stretch. I still think we'll beat Indiana. I'm in Indianapolis. I won't be at the game on Saturday, but I'll be in town. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys bounce back because now you've got an opportunity. Tough loss. Ted Lasso, great man, once said, I'm probably going to butcher this quote, but I hope that at the end of our time, we're not judged by the actions of our weakest moments, but how we get up and respond, in the aftermath of that. Like, what do you do when things get hard, right? How do you respond? This is an opportunity. 4-2 doesn't look that great. This is a great team. We're third in the power rankings, but 4-2 and 5-2, 6-2 looks really good. Find a way to respond, move forward, be a great basketball team, perform at the highest level. I believe our Golden State Warriors will. I've been Houston Boy. You guys have been the fans. Tough loss tonight, but we keep moving forward. And as always, dubs up. Peace.